guys, Richard Liu here at NZ Entrepreneur, and today on Innovation Nation, I'm delighted to be talking to Michelle Jordan. Michelle is the General Manager Enterprise at Venture Taranaki. Michelle, thank you so much for joining us today.
Kia ora, Richard, thank you very much for having me.
No problem. So just to start with, can you tell our viewers a little bit about, I guess, your role and also, what Venture Taranaki is all about?
Okay, so as you said, I'm the General Manager of Enterprise at Venture Taranaki, and essentially that means providing support into enterprises from pre-startup through to export and helping them achieve on their aspirations and overcome the challenges that they face along the way. Additionally, the role includes our entrepreneurship and our innovation activity. So that's around providing support to the services and working actively with the entrepreneurship ecosystem to foster and nurture the environment that entrepreneurs need to succeed and thrive. And I'm supported by a fantastic team of diverse individuals who've got a huge range of experience and depth of expertise as well. In terms of what Venture Taranaki does more broadly, it is the region's regional development agency. So it has a really broad scope. It's responsible for delivering economic development services and projects for the strategic economic growth initiatives, sector growth initiatives, our regional tourism and marketing, destination development, and of course, New Plymouth District Council's major events fund. And we also facilitate Taranaki 2050, which is the regional roadmap for Taranaki.
You're dealing with entrepreneurs or businesses right from the very start of the life cycle. I mean, we're talking pre-startup here, so it could be just idea stage through to export. Yep. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the ways that you support, say, those really early stage people? Maybe people who've never started a business before, but are thinking about it, or maybe they've got an idea.
Yeah, absolutely. So our team has advisors in it who can talk to someone who has excuse me, an idea for a business, and around their idea, the things that they need to be thinking about to translate that idea into something more concrete. We also do, I guess, a capability building activity where we can equip people with the skills that they might need or that they don't have at this stage. And a big part of what we do is connections and referrals to other organisations and individuals who can help, who can mentor, who can coach and support that as well. So it's not just about VT, but about all of the connections that we have as well, that we tap those individuals into.
So you're sort of like bringing together all the different people and organisations or resources and directing people appropriately. Yeah,
and just providing them with, I guess, an awareness of the opportunities available to them, the support that's available to them, and tapping them into that as they, depending on what they decide they want to do.
Can you give us a bit of an idea of the, I guess, organisational sort of structure, or in terms of how Venture Taranaki is sort of funded, or who are the key sort of stakeholders?
Okay, so we have numerous stakeholders. The most important of which are our community and the enterprises within it and the partners we work with. We're owned by New Plymouth District Council, so they're our main funder or investor, and we have partnership agreements with Stratford District Council and South Taranaki District Council as well. So all three councils support Venture Taranaki. And additionally, we receive investment from other partners, including central government. We're the regional business partner here in Taranaki, and central government also supports us for some of our project and strategic work that we do as well.
Talking about sort of, I guess, the economic makeup of the region, Taranaki, what traditionally has sort of driven that?
Taranaki is particularly strong in energy and land-based activity, particularly dairying, food and fibre, and including the processing of that. But our range of industries is actually really diverse. So in addition to energy and dairying, engineering, large and niche manufacturing, tourism, largely domestic there, digital, food and fibre. So quite a diverse sector range and a great suite of entrepreneurial businesses as well. who are combining lifestyle and their business development together here in the region.
Are there any particular industry or again categories that you think potentially your region has the opportunity to really focus on and opportunities for growth?
Yeah, I think Taranaki has really big aspirations for its future, and it's put a lot of effort into Taranaki 2050, which the community has developed itself. So we're definitely changing, and there's a huge amount of work and commitment to that. And we are looking to carve out new industry and sector strengths on the back of some really strong foundation. And I guess the examples of that in particular are new energy. So we have the Taranaki here, which is the National New Energy Development Centre. We have Hiringa and hydrogen development and major new wind farm. And sitting alongside of that is also a really burgeoning food and fibre sector. And that's underpinned by our Fonterra plants and major food and meat processing. But it's also where we're seeing a enormous amount and numerous examples of entrepreneurship with new enterprises emerging and bringing new product to the market. And some real innovation there on the back of those strengths. So really exciting stuff going on there. Digital and tech also play a significant role in the region. I think sometimes there's a suggestion that those things aren't the domain of provinces, but that's a long way from the truth. And I think Taranaki also has a pretty exceptional biodiversity. So there are quite a number of projects in that space as well. So I think it's a range of things going on, but particularly the new energy and food and fibre. And I guess the other thing sitting alongside of that is a real appetite and momentum and getting real traction on providing an environment that supports smart, connected communities and enterprises.
Can we talk a little bit about sort of the impact of COVID-19, the lockdown, or the main one, on sort of, I guess, for the business community up there? And yeah, what did it look like from your point of view? What's going on, amongst the team when these announcements came out?
Yeah. I think like every part of New Zealand, COVID-19 had a massive impact on the region and on our team. We were really well set up to work remotely. So we were able to really seamlessly convert from in-office to working from home with no gap in supporting Taranaki enterprises in the sectors, etc. And I think, while it was really challenging, we definitely saw a lot of opportunities emerge and a lot of seizing on those opportunities. Venture Taranaki, and I guess many others like us in the region, and our partners were inundated with requests for support. But we've worked really well to support each other. And I mean, we were operating at 3 times our normal support levels for a really sustained period. I think Taranaki's economy has remained really, really resilient. And I think that's largely due to our strong food and fibre sector, which was perhaps impacted lesser than others by COVID-19. The other thing I think that I've seen, and it's been amazing, is that our people have really answered the call for a Go Local campaign. And that's not just around retail, but it was a real opportunity to support, for the community to support the organisations that are exist here. So it wasn't just about retail, it was about using local enterprise and talent and engineering and food and supply chains and everything. It was an opportunity to really try and back each other up. And the people of Taranaki have really, really done that. Our hard-hit retail sectors and our tourism sector are rebounding. And our retail stats are sitting well above the New Zealand average. And we're slowly closing the gap, that deficit that was created by that lockdown.
The interesting thing to me is you mentioned diversity there, and part of the purpose of the series is really understanding a bit more about exactly what our neighbours are up to and really what their region's all about.
Totally.
And we're just finding, more and more that our perceptions maybe of what a particular area is all about, that's different. It's changing.
Yeah, it is. I think it's great to be able to highlight what goes on in a region. I think sometimes that's a hidden view.
What for you might have been some of the highlights in the region around entrepreneurship, innovation, any events? Yeah, what stands out?
I think despite the challenges that 2020 has brought, there have been a huge amount of highlights. We've seen some great events, including the Tech Week events. So that was a real feature, and it came early after we got back into sort of, I guess, out of lockdown and into things again. And I think there's also the growing activity in those key sectors of new energy and food and fibre that are really starting to shine. Our co-working spaces were and continue to hold events that tell the stories of entrepreneurs, that provide learning for people and connections for people, which I think is really, really important. Our angel investment group, launched Taranaki, has been actively seeking opportunities. So there are really, really numerous things going on, and including Venture Taranaki launching masterclasses to grow capability in entrepreneurship, and we have been offering a web series, the new norm, ahead of the curve, which is really about supporting our entrepreneurs and our existing businesses with tools and resources to help them along the way and help them recover and have stronger businesses, I guess, going forward. And I think for us coming up, we've been developing a program for 2021 that's soon to launch. And that's all about offering opportunities for entrepreneurs and enterprises to grow their skills and connect with the ecosystem and others, and tell the story more about what Taranaki has to offer from an entrepreneurship perspective, because there's a lot here, and to amplify that support as well that's on offer.
One of the key drivers of the series is, of course, showcasing entrepreneurs and businesses doing innovative stuff from different parts of the country. Are there any that have sort of stood out for you in terms of exemplifying the entrepreneurial spirit, or just really challenging the norms, or maybe just sheer resilience?
Look, I think there are so many options that it's really difficult to choose one or two. I think suffice to say, Taranaki has shown that it has multiple examples of entrepreneurship and how to translate that into thriving success stories. And they're across every spectrum. They're in manufacturing, they're businesses that have existed for a long time and businesses that have existed for a very short time. So I think entrepreneurship showcases itself here across the whole spectrum. It's not all about the new. It is about some of those businesses that have been with Taranaki for a very long time, repositioning themselves and seizing on opportunities. So there's everything from, like I said, manufacturing to food and fibre, multi-enterprise, digital activity, the new energy activity. There are enterprises in education and in health and technology and water management. They are everywhere. And I think for us, it is about telling those stories and getting those out there, because I think what it shows is that Taranaki really has this amazing entrepreneurial culture, and to give increased visibility to that.
And of course, people can check out some of the stories coming out of Taranaki, part of the series. So
yeah, you're creating a great series. I think 9 or 10 of our entrepreneurs. So I'm looking forward to seeing those come out.
Fantastic. So looking to the future, and you've already sort of mentioned a new program you're looking forward to running in 2021.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit more about that, and also anything else that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think there's a lot to look forward, both in the remainder of 2020 and for 2021. We're focused, I think Taranaki is focused not only on the recovery, so which we call returning to better, but leading the way with its Taranaki 2050 roadmap. And in terms of the entrepreneurial and environment and the culture, yeah, there are a number of initiatives by Venture Taranaki and others that are looking to embrace and enable and amplify that entrepreneurship activity and culture. Like we talked about, Startup Weekend coming up. There's also, in the new year, Venture Taranaki will run its Business Ideas competition, which has been going a few years now, and workshops focused on building and growing entrepreneurial capability and incubating startups. We're developing a podcast series, which again tells the stories of some of our entrepreneurs and the support that's wrapped around them. And we're, of course, developing in conjunction with others, resources, tools and support to really support that community and make sure they have what they need to succeed. I think we have a focus really on our drivers are trying to create resilient economies, resilient enterprises and resilient communities. And that's really all about that. And entrepreneurship sits at the heart of that. So Taranaki as a region has recognised that and really supportive, our investors and our ecosystem and Venture Taranaki really supportive of the philosophy of sort of creating, supporting and accelerating entrepreneurship here. So this is a really exciting time. The appetite is huge.
Now, earlier on you told me that you grew up in Taranaki, but you left after school and then you returned sometime later, as you know. What was it that drew you back? Because you know you've had experience living in other cities and places, you know, around the world.
Yeah.
You could have chosen anywhere else. What is it that you love about Taranaki?
I think Taranaki is the kind of place that it just captures your heart. So really, no matter where you are drawn back, and that was what happened. As you said, I lived around New Zealand and around the globe, and I met a lovely Australian while I was travelling, and we came back here, and he fell in love with it too. So that kind of cemented it for us. The region has a really great diversity of lifestyle. We've managed to combine great careers and business opportunities with that lifestyle, and it really appeals to people from all different walks of life. So that kind of means you have a diverse population that you live amongst as well, and heaps of creative individuals. There's a lot of activity, whether into outdoors or arts and culture, eating and drinking, and sports. There's something there for you, and there's a lot. It's really easy to access, and it's very inclusive. And you know, great coffee from local roasteries and cafes top that off nicely, especially for me. So I love what Taranaki has to offer in terms of truly giving you that great life that we all talk about, and a lot of us struggle to get, because you have time here and a rewarding career, and in my partner's case, a business, and you have time to be with your family, and that's kind of the reality. It's not just what the brochure says. So you kind of get to have a little bit of everything here.
So just to wrap things off, Michelle, anything you'd like to leave our viewers watching this from around New Zealand and in Taranaki with any final thoughts?
I think for the people of Taranaki, it's a place that makes you really proud to be part of it. So I've been so impressed and amazed with the resilience and the determined nature of our community in recent times. And the generosity of our community. It's outstanding. So it's really a cool place to be part of. So if it's anything I'd say to Taranaki people, it's that we've shown that if we stand together, we're strong together. So we just need to keep doing that, and then we'll get to where we want to go. For the rest of New Zealand, I really encourage you to look closely at Taranaki as a place to visit and enjoy, and a place to invest in and to live in. It's a place where you'll find the support you need from the community, from places like Venture Taranaki, to base your enterprise, to realise your budding entrepreneurship desires. You won't regret it. And if you do need convincing, then have another chat with me.
Thank you so much. That was Michelle Jordan, General Manager Enterprise at Venture Taranaki. Thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you.